Wow, hello everyone, welcome to ROYALQ Top Secret channel. I am Kalista, aka Success, your ROYALQ goddess. Yeah, my apologies for the technical issues on the other video. That's why I had to take it down. Okay, my apologies. All right, coming out of floating loss is the topic of the video. Coming out of floating loss. Now, this has been disturbing due to the downtrend of the market, the bearish season of the market. Okay, I know that it has been hindering the daily take profit target, so that's why it was a little bit disturbing. But now you need to know something. Floating loss is not real loss, but a display of the loss status of the position in the price of a particular coin. That's floating loss. ROYALQ just shows you when the price has gone lower than the average price. It now starts showing you a negative with a red big button sign. Okay, so that is what we actually call floating loss. Floating loss is not real. It's just a display of the loss status, because when you took a trade, you bought a coin at a certain price, you are expecting to take a certain percentage as take profit. All right, but unfortunately the price drops down. That is floating loss. All right, this is actually caused by the fluctuation of the price in the market. All right, we all know that the crypto market is a very, very volatile market. So price goes up and comes down. So when it comes down, the bot will show you the percentage that is below the average price. Okay, now it is not an actual sell until a sell action takes place. That is when it becomes real. Until a sell action takes place. Now, how can a sell action take place? The only one way for that sell action to take place for a loss, it is you manually selling it off yourself. ROYALQ BOT is a loss resistant robot. It trades the spot market, so it cannot sell at a loss for you. It will never trigger for a loss, okay? Except you sell off yourself. Until a sell action takes place, there is no real loss with ROYALQ. Now, having said that, I need you to know that the solution to coming out of floating loss is simple. But before that, how do we get into floating loss? We have two ways we get into floating loss. The overall way we know is the downtrend or the bearish season. Okay, that is the overall how we get into floating loss. But the first one is the sync strategy. When you are copying a trader, what happens is this: the quantity of buy, the quantity the copy traders, the strategy is not as much as the original strategy, which eradicates floating loss. Okay, the quantity they buy with the coin. Why they do this is simple: because they want you to continue taking profit at every level, irrespective of your account size. Okay, they design their strategy in a way that it should be able to accommodate from a certain account size to a certain level. Let's say from 10 to 15. You see that now. And in the bear market, they have to go low, because taking profits is a very important thing for everybody. So if they go on a high multiple buy in time, quantity, a higher quantity, it might get your funds finished, and you start seeing the floating loss, and which is disturbing. So they go low on the quantity they buy for you and ensure that they continue to take profit. That is why if you're a copy trader, you see the red showing, yes, but you're taking profits on the inside. Now, the second way you incur floating loss is when your one shot goes south. What do I mean by that? You took a one-shot signal, you took a one-shot trade expecting to take profit, and the market goes down. The price of the coin goes down. Okay? It didn't go up to trigger profit. That is where you get another floating loss. Remember, I said floating loss is just when the price goes below the average price of that particular coin. You begin to see floating loss. Now, the solution is this: you go long on that trade. What do I mean by going long on that trade? You continue to trade that particular coin. You keep buying and keep selling that particular coin, and eventually sell out. You might think that, oh, it's a bearish season. How will I continue to buy and sell? Where's the bullish momentum that is going to push me out of the trade? It is not just the bullish momentum that pushes you out of the trade. Okay, so there are 3 steps to coming out of the floating loss. 1 is make funds available, make USDT available, provide USDT to trade that particular coin. Do not dump the trade, do not dump the bot either. All right, you have to continue buying and selling that particular coin. 2, your setting. When you make funds available, how many percentage dip you should be going on that coin, and the number of times you will be buying that coin more. You might think it sounds bizarre to be asking someone to buy more on a coin that you already have floating loss on. No, it is not bizarre. ROYALQ has been designed in a way that it has what I call the 3-in-1 power that comes to play. Yes, a 3-in-1 power that comes to play. That is actually how you come out of floating loss. When this power comes into the trade using the right strategy that I'm about to show you, you know that irrespective of a bearish season, there is no floating loss. Now, there are 2 factors behind you coming out. 1, the quantity you will be buying that particular coin, the number of times you'll be buying that coin. And 2, the volatility of that particular coin. 1 is under your control, 1 is not. So you're going to do the one that is under your control, which is the quantity you will be buying that coin more, and leave the other for the market volatility to take care of. Okay? Now, originally, we know that ROYALQ trade setting, the strategy for ROYALQ is the Martingale strategy. The Martingale strategy is double of your previous number of buy times. All right? This does a lot. It has a lot to do in your trade setting. Okay? Now, when you think of the Martingale strategy that comes to play in your trade setting, you might think, if I'm in the whole warehouse mode, does it matter? No, that's not the strategy I'm talking about. If either you're in the whole warehouse mode, the swapping mode, real set time settlement, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Be it on a 1-shot or a circle, it doesn't matter. All right? It does not have anything to do here. The important thing here is the Martingale strategy. The Martingale strategy is what you will be using to buy and sell that coin. That will eventually bring you out of that floating loss. The trade setting is the most important thing here. That is where the secret lies. This is where the beauty of Martingale strategy comes to play. The 2 hindrances that might hinder you from using this strategy is maybe funds, okay? And the second one is time. Maybe you are not the patient type. You're impatient. So that is the only 2 factors I see that might not let you use the strategy. Okay? But I'm here to show you how to set up your bot when you have a trade. Yes, that has gone south, which leads to your floating loss that you might be seeing on your bot. Okay? Now, the 3-in-1 power, which is the secret in there. We all know them, but we do not know how they come to play. That is the issue there, okay? The 3-in-1 power is, I call them 3-in-1. 1, the margin call drop. The power of your dollar cost average. The benefits of average price. These 3 things are the beauty of ROYALQ. Now, the margin call drop gives you opportunity to buy a number of quantity of that coin at a particular price drop of that coin. Okay? Now, if you're using your trade setting and maybe you're buying 11111 as your number of time, yes, you will still get an average price of that. Okay, quite all right, but you will not have the full benefit. Yes, the full benefit. I want to use a trade that has 7 margin calls. Okay, you will not have the full benefit of the Martingale strategy. Okay, so now, without talking too much, let me show you the trade setting that brings you out of floating loss. 2 things I need you to take note of when you are ready to come out of any floating loss is, 1, Determine the percentage dip you want to go on that coin, irrespective of the number of you already seen, minus whatever. Determine the percentage dip you want to go on that particular coin. 2, let your funds, your USDT, tally with the number of buy times that you are ready to buy. Like I said, strategy period doesn't matter, whether one shot or circle. Strategy mode does not have anything to do with this. But at this point, I need you to please let your take profits be minimum. Let it be minimum. This is not the time to look at 3%, 4%, 5%, or 7%, 10% profit to take when you want to come out of floating loss. You go for minimum take profit beginning from 1. Okay, beginning from 1, 1.2, 1.3, at most 1.5 should do when you want to come out of a floating loss trade. All right. Okay, now let's dive in quickly to where the action really takes place to coming out of floating loss. Now you can see right here you have the default trade setting from ROYALQ, which is the Martingale strategy. As we know, you have here, this thing here is your margin call dropping percentage. This is the number of times you are buying at every level. When the price drops by 3.5, you're buying 2 times. It drops by 4%, you're buying 4 times. It drops by 4.5, you're buying 8 times. Okay, this is ROYALQ's default Martingale strategy. Take note, higher than the previous buy. This is higher than this. So also this is higher than the previous. This is also higher than the previous, which is Martingale strategy, buying a much more higher quantity than the previous one you have bought. So let me show you. This is default now. Let's see how many percentage dip this is. We have 3.5 plus 4, we have 7.5 plus 4.5, we have 12. We have, okay, so we have from here to here we have 12. Okay, 5.2, 8.8, that's a 13.2. Then we have, okay, 13.2. Let me slow down. 13.2. Then you have 10 and 12. You have 22. So let's sum up all of this together. We have 22 plus 12. We have 34 plus 13. We have 47.2. So now let me show you what this means. This is ROYALQ default. This means that we have 47.2% dip right here. That is what this means, okay? So ROYALQ is telling you to buy this coin 47.2 times. And you can imagine the number of times we have here. I'm not going to be summing up all of this. We have 128, 64, 32. So this is the number of times that the bot wants to be buying. So let's assume that we have 15 as our first buy amount. So 15 times the total number you have here is what you should be making available to trade a certain coin with this particular strategy. So this is where our tweaking comes to play. So I'm going to be deleting this now, and let me tell you something that we'll be doing right here. So let's take, for instance, I'm going to practicalize it here. For example, we already have a floating loss of, let's say, minus 60 already. We have minus 60. I'm going to be writing it down. We have minus 60 already on a certain coin. Now, I want to trade out of floating loss, which is buying and selling of this coin continuously. But I want to ensure that I'm in line with Martingale strategy so that I can enjoy the 3-in-1 power flow that enables me to come out of the trade quickly. Okay, so how many percentage am I ready to go dip more? Remember I said there are 2 things you need to decide on. Determine the percentage dip you want to go further. Determine the percentage dip you want to go further. So now I'm determining that I want to go 40% deeper on this trade. So I'm going to distribute my 40% dip into this place. 40% dip. Okay, 40% dip. If you want to go 50, you distribute it along the number of margin call limits you have created. All right, that's what you do. That's the first things first. You determine the percentage dip you want to go on this coin. So if I'm going 40%, for instance, I'm going 40%, I will be distributing 40% into this margin calls. I have 7 margin calls, right? I have 7 margin calls. So this is what I am doing now. So let's sum up all of this together. You see, we have 40. You're seeing that we have 40. Look at it. Here, 7 plus 7 is 14. 5, 5, 10. That's 24. 5, that's 29. 5, 34. And 6, 40. So you can see clearly here that I have 40% dip. Now, I'm going to make sure that the funds I have made available, the USDT, should tally with the number of buy times. Those are the 2 important things you need to do. But you have to put it in mind that this should go with Martingale Strategy, because that is where the 3-in-1 power comes to play and works magic for you. Okay, it's not really magic if you get to do this. So now, let's assume I am making 200. Can 200 go? Let me check. Will 200 do? If I'm using 200, how do I distribute it number of times? Okay, no. Let me go for 300. Let me go for 300. Okay, let me go for 300. Now, you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to increase the number of buy times in as much as it's not doubled, but at least is higher than the previous, because I'm trying to work with minimum funds. You can also reduce this to suit your whatever amount fund you have available. So let's check on this. Let's check on this. How many times do we have here? Where 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 2, 12. Okay. There's a, if we're using 15 USDT first buy amount, we have 90 here and 60 USDT here. 30 USDT goes in here. 1.5, 0.5, that's 2. So this 2 will give us, this 2 will give us 60, while 1.2 and 0.8 as well will give us 60. So we have 60 plus 60, that's 120. We have 30, 150, and the other is 150. So you see we have $300 successfully distributed into 7 calls, while we have 40% dip there. I hope you saw how you can put together your 2 things you need. $300 successfully distributed here, and here we have 40% successfully distributed also in 70 calls. So these are the 2 decisions you need to make. When you want to come out of floating loss, just come here and do this. Now, having done this, you see we still use Martingale Strategy. It might be small in quantity, but you will see what comes to play. As you continue to buy and sell this coin, you see you'll be taking profits, and eventually you come out. The average price does wonders, because when you buy more down, okay, your take profit price, the average price does that for you. It does that for you the moment you're out of the 4th call. So for those that might be going up to 8, 9, 10 calls, you will enjoy the average price taking profit ratio. Okay, now there's something. How do you continue to take profits inside of here? If, for instance, the bot has bought this 6th call and the price didn't go back down, it comes up by 1.3%. You can do that through your distributed take profit allocation area. You know, maybe you put 1.3% to take profit from your 5th call down. You realize that it's going to trigger for a take profit for you. So you'll be taking profit. If it makes this call and it goes up by 1.3, it takes profit for you here. If the price comes back down, oh well, you are buying and selling this coin, and eventually the volatility of this coin increases. Your average price will help you, because dollar cost average is already working in there for you, averaging everything you are doing. The power of dollar cost average is working, and by the grace of the margin call drop, you have not pumped in all your funds at a particular place. That is what we do when we what's it called again? You know, the manual buying thing, what's the name, whatever. Okay, so we're just focusing on floating loss here. We'll have another video for that where we break it down, the benefits and why sometimes it's not benefiting us. Okay, so I'm not going to mention the name. So this is how you come out of floating loss. All right, this is the beauty of the 3-in-1 power that you can enjoy. If you go on 111 number of buy times, quite all right, but I assure you that the power of the 3-in-1 will not come in full. It will not come in full. That's true. But if you try to use the Martingale strategy, it works amazingly well. And if the price is going up and down, let's assume the coin is a very, very volatile coin. You enjoy it by taking more profit, and eventually you sell out. You sell out. So you ensure that your trade is on one shot. Ensure that your trade is on one shot. So this is how you come out of floating loss, my leaders. There's no force about floating loss, but you want to come out of it. You think there's no solution. No, here is your solution. All you need is a little bit patience. Like I said, one is in your control. The next is not in your control, which is the volatility of the coin. All right. So you do the part that is under your control, which is here. Your trade setting should be right. The quantity you are buying should be in line with Martingale strategy. Then you are good to go. Well, I don't want this video to be long, so thank you very much to every ROYALQ BOT user that comes across this video. Please do well to like, share, and click on the subscription button. Yes, subscription button, so you continue to get little secrets about ROYALQ from this channel. Thank you for sticking through. My apologies once again for the technical issues the other video had, but here we are, successfully done. Go through it, share it with every ROYALQ BOT user all over the world. Bye for now.